Hello and welcome to the Whisky.com news on the 5th of February 2019. We have a number of very interesting new bottles on the market and some of them announced. The Emill Distillery is announcing a new limited release, and it's bottling for the St. Andrew's Day. Yeah, it was matured in ex-bourbon, ex-oloroso and Pedro Jimenez casks. Only 3,200 bottles with alcoholic volume of 46.5% ABV. It's not chill filtered, it's not colored, so it's a good whiskey. And it will be available internationally, hopefully, in the next weeks. It will be available in Germany, that's for sure. Then we have a new experience. The whiskey bottler White & McKay is launching an augmented reality experience for one of their whiskeys. They've printed a label, a little scannable thing on there, and then you can take the Shazam app and scan this code, and then you can find out how Ernest Shackleton went to the pole, I think it was the South Pole, and did his expedition there, and he lost, I think, 2 ships, and in these 2 ships he lost 11 bottles of whiskey. And this whiskey was salvaged, and that's how people got hold of a whiskey from 1914 or something like that. And it's a very, very antique and old liquid and gives you a really good imagination of what whiskey was back in the day. With this experience, you can feel how Ernest Shackleton did his expedition and how these 11 bottles were found. Then we have a new private edition from Glenmorangie Allta. You may have already seen the video, but I'm going to explain in short here. The 10th private edition from Glenmorangie, the Glenmorangie Allta, is a new kind of whiskey with a different yeast than they usually do at Glenmorangie. They used a wild yeast. They actually found the yeast outside on the barley fields, cultivated it, and made a nice whiskey out of it. And then we have the new Octomore 3rd edition. This year is the 2nd edition, but the 3rd edition is the predecessor. It's about 10 years old, 167 ppm, so it's a really, really heavily peated whiskey. That's how we know the Octomore. It was 3 years in first fill ex-bourbon cask, 2 years in virgin casks, and 6 years in another American whiskey casks. Yeah, kind of a bourbon whiskey, fresh whiskey barrel theme going on there. It's limited to 12,000 bottles, and it will be available pretty soon. And last but not least, we have the Mackmyra Moment Karibien. It has been announced. Yeah, it's from the Swedish distillery, and they matured 75% of this whiskey in Caribbean rum casks. The rest was matured in bourbon, oloroso, and cherry wine casks. It's about 8 to 12 years old and is only 4,100 and something bottles. So yeah, it's pretty limited. So if you see one, you might want to buy one. It's 44%, 44.4% ABV. Oh, nice round number. And yeah, that was it for this week, and see you next time.